Hey guys, Coach Lew here to talk to you a little bit about team today. You know, we've all seen the cutesy posters that say, together everybody achieves more. Have you seen those in people's offices and, gone in and thought, hey, what a great concept. That could be very true. You put a team together, you achieve more than one person at a time. Is that always true? I don't know. Some teams might hold each other back. Some teams might absolutely propel each other. Some teams may be a bad dynamic. And this is what I want to come to you today to talk about is what is the difference in this team? If you're looking at the acronym together, everybody achieves more. Hey, is that great when you get a group of people together that are really passionate about their business or their mission that they're doing? They have a similar mission, they have a similar ethics, similar motivation and drive, and similar backgrounds, but enough difference where they bring more to the table so that there's different views and different perspectives with the same goal. Would that be a team that together everybody achieves more? Yes, that would make sense. Now, let me really contrast this, and this is going to be a serious contrast, but this is about driving it home for you. What if you get a group of heroin addicts together and they all decide to go out and do more heroin or drugs or whatever they do? And do you think together they're going to achieve more? No, because there's a missing link there. And even though they may have that common goal and everything else, the goal, the outcome is not a sustainable good outcome. So that team probably needs to stay away from each other, where individually one of those people going through, hey, I want to get to the other side of something like that, might seek out a team of people who have conquered an addiction or a challenge. Just giving you a really high end and lower end of the spectrum there of how team could affect somebody very seriously, individually or group or worldwide or company wide, whatever it is that your team is, that we're addressing today. So, why is this team thing so important? One of the reasons is, and we just kind of touched on that, is that the dynamic of having more people and more people involved and more help and more ideas and more motivation and that team synergy helps you grow. It helps support what you're doing. Imagine starting a business that has several facets. Well, then, maybe I need to update my tech team here because we may have had a little snafu with the video there. It's called Mevo ran out of battery. Mevo's our internet streaming camera as well as our studio recording camera. So, talking about team there, one of the important things is to realize what each member of your team's strengths and weaknesses may be and how you support each other. I'm pretty techie. I've gotten pretty techie over the years with some of the equipment and that, and I've got a fair amount of investment in this for us here, for our team, because I love this stuff. This is fun. I realize that I am partially the artist in the company, not only the entrepreneur. You're a little bit of each, but I was surprised at how much I like the creation side of this, like doing these videos. But once in a while, I do have that techie snafu where I could probably use some good tech support on our team. So, getting back to why this is so important to have this team around you, it has been said time and time again by a lot of speakers, a lot of people in our industry, that you are the sum of the five people you spend the most time with. Is this true? I truly believe this, on measurable income levels, on the side of where, it's something that's very measurable. Generally, the top five people you spend your most time with, you are in the same income range with them. Not because you go and necessarily seek out people of a certain income range to think, hey, this is going to make me better. But it's a mindset. Usually, people who have a strong mindset and a strong will and a lot of motivation, that reflects in their income. Now, it doesn't mean that everybody's going to make $1 million because they're motivated. Some people are very motivated by other aspects of their business and what they do, and $1 million a year or 10 million or whatever might not be the motivation, but the drive is helping somebody, this, that, or the other, in growth, and whatever their driving forces are is there's many factors to success that determine your successes, but it's very easy to measure income and profitability and so forth in a lot of these areas. That's why we use it so much for examples. So generally, you take those five top people you spend your time with, and you have your upper and lower income level of them, and you will generally find that you're going to be falling in between that income level. You generally, if you associate with people who have a very low income economic level, you're not going to be miles above them. And generally, if you spend most of your time with your top five, with people who have, really great levels of financial income, you're going to find you're probably not way down at the bottom there on the level of that. So this is what I'm bringing to you today. And income is a great example because it's measurable, but there's so much more. There's ethics, there's motivation level, there's excitement level, there's drive, there's growth, there's contribution. All of these things are important in a team. And I know, guess what? These words are coming over and over and over at you again. That growth, contribution, significance, all these things are going to play into life. They're all part of life. They're needs that we have. They're needs that society and the world has. So here we go. Let's dig into this. So those top five people that you spend the most time with, and also the people you spend the most time paying attention to, is also going to be there. And you might say, well, I've got 5 kids and they take up a lot of my attention. Okay, you know what? You're the leader of that pack right there. And this is what's going to bring it right home and right to reality. Who your team is not who you were dealt. Sometimes people are like, hey, look at so-and-so came from nothing or a horrible background and were abused and this, and they've succeeded. So their team didn't hold them back. No, their team might have propelled them by pain, but that was the unchosen team of family when you're an infant. You don't sit upstairs and go, hey, I'm going to that one. You don't choose. So sometimes people don't get the best, easiest start out in the world. And sometimes they get a good start and they screw something up and step up again. That's irrelevant. But what we're talking about here is this team thing of the reality is you choose your peers, you love your family. You don't have to have your family members, if they are holding you back or very different than you, they don't have to be your peer group. You can love them. You don't not love your family, that's fine. But you can not allow the influence if it's negative. If your family influence is supportive and great and they're right on the page with you and they're there for you, and even if you're going far and above what their interest levels are, they're supportive of you, that's still a great team to have because that's something that's great. If there's somebody that's going to pull you back, family, friends, anything like that, you got to cut the ties to that within reason. You don't say, hey, you're not my family anymore because you're not of my mindset. Now, if somebody's really taking you down and really damaging your family unit or, becoming a major issue, you cut off as much as possible. It doesn't mean you stop loving your family. Love your family, choose your peers. If your family makes a great part of that peer group, hey, that's even better. If not, that at a distance, love you, but you're not going to take advantage of me or you're not going to take me down. So are you guys with me on this? You get to choose your peers. And you might say, I really don't. I go to work every day and I'm assigned to work with so-and-so, or I have to work in this team and I did not choose them. In the ultimate, you can make a choice there. You can make a career change. You can make a change in departments. You can get out of that career. You can make a change in business. If your business associates in business with you are not supportive and not sharing your visions, it was very, very well put. I've heard it put so very well. It's not the person you hire. It's the person you fail to fire that can make or break your team. It doesn't mean somebody makes a little oops and you get rid of them. But if there's that person that's pulling away from the common goal of the team, or that person that is just not working out, failure to change that is going to be more of a death to a company than anything else. And I use company as a lot of example on this because that has a lot to go with team. A lot of team is companies, but we're going to talk personal and we're going to talk business teams. So the reality is, yes, you can pick your peers. It might be a major shift in your life to change your peers, or it may not. Let's look at the family, friends, and the close loved ones. Say you are working on not drinking so much. And I know I alluded to this in one a couple back. Um, and the people that you hang around with want to go drink every Friday and Saturday night. And that is the only thing that is their entertainment. If you don't want to drink, they give you a hard way to go. Or if you're in a corporate environment and you're going to an event, a social event, and if you're not drinking, you're blackballed. Nobody wants to hang out with you, this, that, or the other. And you might say, well, I have to go to this corporate event and I have to. Okay, great. Drink, get club soda and put some lemon in it, make it look like a drink. But you don't have to if you're battling with a situation like that, or maybe it's smoking. Maybe you work somewhere where everybody goes out for a smoke break and you enjoy who you work with and you have a great productive team. And you're going, hey, I don't want to change this team. We're rocking, kicking ass here. But they all want to go smoke on breaks. Okay, do you have to go out and smoke? Could you go for a walk around the building? Do you have to smoke even if you want to stand there and still have conversation? You don't have to light up a cigarette. You don't have to put down beer or alcohol to fit in with the crowd. And my best thing to say there is if you really have to and you really feel that compelled to and it's pulling you away from something that you really want, cut those ties. Go somewhere else. Go around people who are supportive of what your goals are. So build that top 5 for your team. Now, people might say, well, I deal with hundreds and thousands of people at times. I get it, okay? If I were to say I can only have a team of 5, I'd be in trouble. Sometimes my teams are very large. You're part of my team out there, and you might be across the world. You're still part of my team in some way, manner, or form. But it's your core 5 of your business team, your core 5 of your personal, your family. Who are the core 5 people you spend the most time with? I guarantee you is going to show up as a direct reflection of how you live your life, how you do your business, how you handle your family matters, etc. Are we cool on that? Are we all there and ready to go on this? So what I want to do is get into a little bit of the dynamics of this team and what makes a great team, and then cut you loose on it. This is just something that you were going to visit back and forth, but it's something I want to get the ball rolling and get you aware of. In the process, before I go into the dynamics of this, I want to tell a little team story. As you guys know, or you're going to find out if you don't know me that well, but probably you know me already, do a lot of the OCR races. Love them. Sometimes alone, sometimes with a big team, sometimes with a partner, sometimes with, a small group, big group, sometimes, like I say, all alone. All just depends on what the focus of that particular run is. So yesterday, coming off of the Rugged Maniac, my partner going through with that, Peggy, really kicked butt, got out there on the course. It was a fun run. Long story short, we hit the finish line. It's like, wow, that was great. And wow, it's actually starting to warm up outside. It was kind of cold initially, and there was a little bit of, a little rough on that first run through. I think you see where I'm going with this. And I'm like, hey, why don't we just run it again? And she goes, yeah, let's do this. And I was like, oh, okay, well, let's do this. This is awesome. Yeah, let's do this. This is my kind of teammate right here that wouldn't even hem and haw too much about that. Just simply was like, yeah, hey, let's do this. How about getting to the end of work? And thank you, Peggy, for that, because that was cool. And the second round around was even better, and it was great. And it was something that when you finish the second time and go, wow, most people don't even really do super well completing these on the first. Some people absolutely knock it out of the park. I mean, there's some people that are in top-notch shape, and there's people that are at the beginning of their fitness journey and 100 pounds overweight kicking butt on these courses. Wherever you're at, I recommend doing some OCRs. They're freaking amazing because of the breakthroughs that you'll have on them. But the cool part is, one of my team members that I respect opinion and ways of being was like, yeah, right on board with that. Where maybe somebody else would go, oh yeah, that would be cool, but no, forget about it. Let's go eat instead. Or, oh no, I'm too tired. No, you want to pick that team that if you want to go to that next level, that you want that supportive. Doesn't always mean everybody's going rah rah. Sometimes they're going, holy shit, you want us to work 10 more hours to finish this project? But they go, you know what? Let's dig in. Let's get some coffee and go. That's the kind of team you want. And sometimes your team members need to go, you know what, we're cutting it for the day because everybody's about ready to crash into the ground and none of us are productive. And, they grab onto me and go, you're done. Quick story on that, too. A dear friend of mine who's passed away many years ago now, way back when I was in the transportation industry. I used to go and go and go and go. It would be like nonstop. And, I'd get to that point where it was like, oh, just a little longer, a little longer, a little longer. There's more money to be made out here. And Manny and his wife would come snatch me off the street, literally go, hey, come here a second, put me in their car, drag me to their house, feed me a meal, and tell me, go in that spare bedroom, and you are not coming out until 6 hours later. You're going to sleep for a while. And I'd be like, oh man, no, you're costing me money, blah, 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 blah. But that was the other type of team that was very vital to me, that team that goes, you know what? We do have your best interests at heart. Your best interest at heart is not going, oh, don't put another hour in at the office. You work so hard. The best interest is when somebody sees you're going to train wreck your health because you're working too hard, or you just need a little breather, you need a little break, you need somebody to go, come on, go get some rest, come back with a fresh set of eyes. That's also part of team. So, you have that contrast of that bust through, take it to the next level team, and then the team that would protect you at all odds. Does that make sense? These are the type of people you want on your team, the people that really want you to grow, succeed, want to do this stuff all as a team together for a common goal. So this is what I'm getting to. There's dynamics to this, what to look for in your team members. And your team members, remember, you got your core business or work team, you've got your core family and friends, and you've got your core growth team, would we call it? The people you go to when you need growth, when you need support into going to the next level. Sometimes that team isn't there with you every single day. Parts of my team, and if some of you are watching, you know who we are. We might not talk all year long, but my God, when we hit one of those stopping blocks, or, when we just want to share something amazing, who do we reach out to? Those people that really go, hey, I get it. I get it. It's great to be the coach, but damn well, let me tell you, sometimes we need the coach. We need that other person to step up and be there as that member of our team, even if it's not every single day or not locally and not together. So I know I'm going on a rant about this and you're going, oh my God, teams can be all over the world. They could be all in the same office. Yes, teams can be big teams, little teams. But remember, your core five of all of that, and that's not only the core five, your core five are not only your core five at work or at home or across the world. Your core five are those five that you are the tightest with, you have the trust factor with, you have the bond, you have the ability to motivate each other, and you have the ability to reel each other into back on course if you're going to train wreck. That's your team, those five. You find them, you're going to be at that level. You're going to be right in that income level. You're going to be in that motivation level and make it a great level. So the dynamics of a team, what makes a team work? First off, similar vision. If you don't have a similar vision, doesn't mean exact vision. If you don't have a similar vision as to what it is you're after, your team dynamic is going to suffer. It doesn't mean that people don't have different aspects, different views, different approaches on the team. That's what makes it function wonderfully. because that's where the brainstorming and the ideas and the let me get a different perspective comes from. But you got to have the same goal. If you're on a construction team, say for instance, if you live in the Orlando area, you'll realize I-4 right now. If you're on a construction team and one team is repaving that new section that's really coming out nice whenever they get it done, and then you got a team coming right up behind it tearing up the new stuff instead of being in front of it tearing up the old stuff so the new can be built. Whoa, we got a problem. We got a vision problem. That's not 2020, that's turnaround 0202, whatever you want to call it. You're destroying what you're building. If a team is doing that, it's not a team. Same thing with physical fitness. If you partner up with somebody to work out and they end up half the time getting you not to work out because you want to go hang out, there's nothing wrong with going hang out with your friend. Even if it's your workout partner, if you kick an ass and then you want to go chill for a few minutes together and enjoy something else, even we'll go sit and watch a movie, that's cool. But don't go do it instead of your vision of what you're going for. Do it as a celebration portion if it's something that doesn't match what your goal is, your vision. You with me? All right, cool. Similar goals. Again, if you're hanging out with people that their only goal is to pay the effing bills at the end of the month and work as little as possible to do that, well, we're not going to go real far. And your goal is to, hey, I want out of the hood. I want out of this neighborhood, or I want to have a Ferrari and I want to have a house on the ocean. It's not really good if your other teammates' goals are to pay the bills, get by, and have a couple of beers or smoke some pot at the end of the week. And, God forbid, work more than 36 hours a week. You're not going to have the house by the ocean, the Ferrari, and everything else that you want, or to go travel into space, or whatever the cool stuff you'd want to do. You're not going to have it if you don't have similar goals from that team, because it will weight you down. Doesn't mean that everybody's got to want a Ferrari and a beach house. It could mean that, part of your team that you're working on something with or that you have in common is working in your community to help feed some families that are in distress. That's a heck of a goal. That's an awesome goal to work on together with a team. Is it going to, put you on a cliffside beachfront home somewhere, buy you a Ferrari? Probably not. But that's a similar goal. But I don't think any of us want to get together and go, let me find some people in the same boat I am and try to figure out how to pay the bills by the end of the month and, party a little bit more. I don't think that you're listening to me if you're that person, that's your major goal is to how to pay the rent by the end of the month. You may be going, hey, I'm in that position right now. But you also may be going, I don't want to be in that position. That's who I'm talking to. It doesn't matter, and I don't want to come across judgmental. It doesn't matter where the heck you are right now. What matters is, do you want more? If so, get around people who want more. You could be destitute. You could be living on the street and manage to pick this up on your cell phone and go, hey, I want to make a change. I don't want to live in a tent in the woods somewhere in a homeless camp. Or you could be living in a beautiful home going, I want to live on top of a mountain. I don't know where you're at, but it's all about wanting those goals higher and being around people who want higher goals and higher achievement. And it's not a bad thing to be on the lower end of the group you're around because they will pull you up. If you're always on the top end and you always got more than everybody else and you're more successful in that, it's great for being a leader, but you also will ultimately pull down if everybody around has a lower standard than you. I know this is a lot to suck in and sometimes a lot to scratch your head and go, I'm going to make some change here. Something's got to give. Good. If you're feeling that, good. Because it's time for something to give a little. Why would I be giving to you doing this broadcast if there's nothing to gain from this? Right? Okay. So, similar level of commitment. Same deal. If you're on a work team and you're willing to work 60 hours a week and everybody else wants to be done after 38 hours and they refuse to go on that level, you need a better team. Do you want to work 60 hours a week all the time? I guess it depends on how much you make an hour. Seriously. Do you have people around you that are just as committed? That goes for relationships, parenting. It goes for sports, races. It goes for school. You may be in school. You may be a student hearing me here. Are you around people who want to excel, or are you around people who are okay with the status quo? Or are you around people who are just kind of skipping by? Who do you want to be around? That's up to you, but your peer group will reflect exactly in your life all the time. Similar character, okay? This goes all over the board. It can be similar religious beliefs, it can be similar morals, it can be similar interest, similar line of work, but similar ethic is really what I'm getting here too. Sometimes people go, and we see this in marriages. We see a mixed religion or a mixed race marriage that works out amazing. And you go, how does that work? Well, there's a pretty far spectrum on each side here. Um, you know, or somebody's very different in size or body type from their spouse or their significant other. And you start going, ooh, how does that work? Well, there's character in there. There's something in there that bonds them beyond. I mean, guys, when we were all younger, how many times have we ever look and go, why is she going out with him? Or vice versa, girls going, why does he choose her over me? Think back to high school and stuff. This is fun. Let's be playful with it. But have you ever, I'm sure we all have a little bit of ooh and judgment and oh wow, what the heck's that all about type of mindset. But have you ever looked and said, how the hell does that work? And it does, and you find out ultimately why, because it's those commonalities, those character points of who they are and what matters and bonds people. Uh, Take business partners. This isn't only about relationships. Sometimes you got two different business partners that are so opposite, it seems on the outside, and then you see there's that character and that common bond and those common goals and this, that, and the other, and you go, oh, I get it. That makes sense. This is what having that vision, going back to step one, the common vision too. What do you want? Does your partner, does your business partner, does your significant other, husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, manager, employees, do they have the same vision? You see how this goes and intertwines all through life? It's not all business. It's not all relationship. It's not all, it works in all aspects of life. So the fifth and very, very important part to the dynamic of your team is diversity. Let's use a silly example. It might be a silly example. Let's say we got a board of design directors for Fredericks of Hollywood, ladies' lingerie. And it's all guys. The 5 guys working on all this design are guys. Let me ask you a question. Do you think the stuff would be pretty, would be sexy, would be like, woohoo, yeah. Right, guys? I think we could probably agree the guys would go, yeah, they were going to make this look visual. Guys, visual, type A, visual. This stuff would probably look great. The girls would probably put it on and go, WTF, this stuff is so dang uncomfortable because it's designed for looks and not comfort. Flip it around the other side. 5 ladies on the design team. That stuff would be damn comfortable. Would it be as attractive to the guys? Possibly, depending on the vision. And, obviously, in a company situation like that, there's an outcome to sell more product. But what do you think? Do you think if it were all guys, the comfort level would be there? Do you think if it were all girls, it would look as hot as sexy? So what you do is you meld that. Now you've got the guy view. And this isn't always the case. I'm using this as examples. I'm not being sexist here. If you're already gritting your teeth at me, some of you, is the guy view of, hey, that looks good, and the girl view going, hey, this stuff's comfortable. I can be in this all day long. Now you've got a team, common outcome. Sell the hell out of the product, right? Similar vision. Goals. We want to get this out there and get this sold. Level of commitment. Yeah, everybody's committed. They want this product to fly. It's awesome. Similar character, yeah. Everybody there wants to make it the best product possible. They want to divest themselves into something that's going to be great, using this team example. But the diversity is great because it keeps it, in that case, comfortable and beautiful. And that will sell the product to almost 100% of the people walking into that type of store rather than only half of the people who would go, well, I like it because it looks like XYZ, and who cares what it feels like on her? And her going, I'm only wearing that, or that because that's the only thing that's comfortable. I don't care what the other one looks like. It hurts. It's miserable. So, goofy example maybe, but does it really drive home the dynamics of the diversity of team? Diversity is important as long as you have the common goals, the common character, the common outcomes in vision. You need those things like in a think tank type of situation. You need the devil's advocate person who says, well, what if? And, well, what about this view? This, if we're working on a project, this group that may be interested in the product may be looking at it from this view, where your group is looking at it from this view, where somebody else is looking down from on top. So getting that diversity into team is awesome. All right, so I know I have gone through a whole heck of a lot of material. I bounced all over the board today because it's important. Team is not something you can just teach in a four-letter acronym and say, together we all achieve, or together everyone achieves more. God, I was tongue-tied there. Together everyone achieves more. Together with all the dynamics, everybody achieves more. Together with the right dynamics, everybody achieves more and brings everybody up. That's the key to team. Let's raise everybody up, not have anybody pulling anybody down. Make sense? All right, so team is cool here. What I'm going to encourage you to do is grow, create, and reward your team. So go out and get that team. I'm a little out of order there. Create it, build your team, grow your team in all aspects, all 5 aspects. Then by all means, reward your team. Those who are there for you, those who are building you up, whether it's in your business, your personal life, whatever it is, reward them. Reward them well. And that doesn't always mean cash, as in the business. Doesn't always mean just pats on the backs and hugs, as in personal, interpersonal relationships. Reward them in ways that they know that that team has their back, that team is helping them grow, because if you got their back and they're growing, they got your back and you're growing. And that's what team is really all about, to really achieve more together, to grow, to support. Do you think that this team thing is important in your life? Is it important in your work? Is it important in your home life? Is it important in your school if you're a student? Is it important in your friendships? Is it important in your spirituality? Is this stuff important? Do you think if you based everything on designing a team for growth, that whatever it is you're growing is going to get better? Do you think that as you progress and your team gets stronger and that bond gets stronger, do you think your outcome becomes less or more? Do you think your productivity becomes less or more? I sound like an eye doctor now. That's funny. Yeah, and as I wear glasses. Anyhow, guys, I really hope you were entertained by this, but most importantly, I hope you have something to take away and start building a team. And as we're going to round the bend into May, we are going into May is going to be all about H1. It's spring. We're going to kick butt with Health 1 and really get you on track there, because your health is really the basis for all of it. This is Coach Lew, encouraging you to live with energy, passion, always live your dreams. Make sure you see the live video, work through the written coursework, and we'll see you on the next video. Have an amazing day. Coach Lew coming to you live from Studio 700 at Revitalize Life Fitness.